Nothing like a nice cuppa to enjoy a tranquil weekend with no. What? What the fuck? Hello everyone and welcome to another video, this time talking once again about the OGL 1.1 from Wizards of the Coast regarding Dungeons and Dragons. According to Wizards, this Friday, January the 13th, they were going to have the announcement of the new OGL known as OGL 1.1. But as you know, it spawned some backlash from the community after it was leaked thanks to a Gizmodo report. After that, and in the aftermath, Paizo, the creators of Pathfinder, released their own OGL called Orc, in which they give perpetuity and of course they give an irrevocable right to everyone to make any product compatible to any other system, because that OGL is going to be system agnostic. So Wizards have released through D&D Beyond an update on their OGL, which has some important information that we have to talk about. So without any further ado, let's dive into this announcement from Wizards of the Coast regarding their OGL 1.1. On January the 13th, Wizards of the Coast released an update to their OGL 1.1 amid the backlash from the leak by Gizmodo that stated that this 1.1 version of the OGL was going to go after the community at large. The update reads, quote, "When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3, blockchain games, and NFTs by making clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements." Now, if you really wanted to do that, then you would have planned for that. The OGL 1.0i does not need to change to accommodate these needs that now you have. In fact, you could very well just create rules for these things, as when the OGL was first written down, these things didn't even exist. We didn't even know what an NFT was going to be 20 years along the road. If you really wanted to prevent this situation, you didn't need to change the OGL, and you only needed to write something for these purposes. The update continues. And the third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the homebrewer, the aspiring designer, our players and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purpose. See guys, Wizards of the Coast is the good company, they're the good guys. We just didn't understand them. They are thinking about the community. They want content creators to feel safe. They want all these designers to feel that they have an opportunity to work for them. We just didn't understand them. How cruel of us, eh? Now, if they really want to go against major corporations, as they say here in this update, why then divide their entry points in three different tiers? The novice tier, which is those people that make 50,000 in revenue from their products in a single year. The intermediate tier, that is all those that make up to 750,000 in a year of total revenue. And the expert tier, that is going way beyond the 750,000 in a single year. Do you really think that a major corporation, as they say right here, is going to deal with 750,000 for a single year? They are talking here about millions. These companies deal in millions every single year. Hasbro being one example of that. So this is not about them wanting to protect us from the major evil corporations like Wizards of the Coast, for instance, like Hasbro, for instance. Of course not. No company that respects itself and calls itself a major company is going to deal with $750,000. That's pocket change for them. The update continues. Driving these goals were two simple principles. 1. Our job is to be good stewards of the game. And 2. The OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles has wavered for a second. Yeah, I don't believe you. The update continues. That was why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. That draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. Now, this is something interesting because when this first leaked, I thought that this might not be the final thing or that it was not real. And as I started looking into it a little bit more, I saw that it could very well be the real thing. By writing this, let's call it the quote-unquote, right, apology, Wizards of the Coast is admitting that in fact was their real intention, that the OGL 1.1 as it was written and presented by Gizmodo is the real thing. Second of all, by looking at this again, they are calling it a draft, right? But call me paranoid, call me naive, call me completely stupid and ignorant of any legal terms, but to me, a draft does not include or should not include any NDAs. Why would you include something like that if it's only a draft and you think that it would be good for you to have some feedback from the community? Doesn't really make sense at all that you create this draft once again and that you provide NDAs so that it does not look like it did. So they are trying to fool us, guys. They are trying to tell us, oh no, you got it all wrong. This was a draft all along, and I predicted that's what they were going to do. The update continues. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled A1. No shite, Sherlock, you think? How nerdy, Ryan. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all three goals while still staying true to our principles. So here is what we are doing. It's not possible. It's not possible. You can't do it because you want to be despicable, greedy bastards. That's what you want to do. You created this thing to try to benefit from others' work. And you can't deny that. Now, Paizo is trying to do exactly this thing that you are saying here with the orc. And they have joined forces with other people. Do you really reckon that it is that difficult? That you can't stay true to your principles, whatever they are? I think that you are actually staying true to your principles. As a major greedy corporation, you are trying to get as much money as you can. And according to what Cynthia Williams said the other day, it's going with your principles. It's under-monetized. We need to make money off this thing. So you are perfectly in line with what you believe in. The update continues, quote, the next OGL will contain the provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build and specify that it covers only content for TTRPGs. That means that other expressions such as educational and charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplay, VTT uses, etc. will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under 1.0a will also remain unaffected. Oh, good. Because this is something that everyone was wondering about when you, in the OGL 1.1, said that everyone must submit past and present work and future work as well. But, alright, so you are saying that people like Critical Role, those that use a virtual tabletop tools and all that, they are safe. Okay. Couldn't you have said this from the very beginning? Couldn't you have said this, for example, when the OGL 1.1 leaked and say, you know what, we dropped the ball on this one? I mean, I think that what the fandom, the community is angry at is that you tried to take them for fools. that you tried to play the stupid with them. Or that you are right now with this, trying to play the stupid. Oh, we didn't know that it was going to be such a big deal. You know? The community wants you to acknowledge that you made a mistake, that you say, yeah, we dropped the ball, we're greedy bastards, sorry for that, we're going to try to do better in the future. This sounds like a half apology, you know? It's an apology that is going halfway there, but it has not really reached home yet. That's how it feels. Let's continue reading it. What it will not contain is any royalty structure. It also will not include the license back provision that some people were afraid was a means for us to steal work. That thought never crossed our minds, really, because it really does like you did think about it. Under any new OGL, you will own the content you create. We won't. Well, that is not really what people were thinking about. They were all thinking about that 30-day notice that you could give them so that they could stop working with that, and that you had royalties over it, or that you had permission to work with it in perpetuity and in a irrevocable way, so that you could use it later on after it was cancelled or something, you know. So nobody's saying that you are going to own it, but that you are going to take advantage of it. Any language we put down will be crystal clear and unequivocal on that point. The license-backed language was intended to protect us and our partners from creators who incorrectly allege that we steal their work simply because of coincidental similarities. As we continue to invest in the game that we love and move forward with partnerships in the film, television, and digital games, that risk is simply too great to ignore. You are trying to take advantage of the community. Those big deals that you are making, those are deals in the millions that do not really affect the bottom line. That is, all those content creators, people like Matt Mercer, people like the small companies that work like Troller Games, all those companies, Cobalt, that work with small groups. This is you trying to aim at Paizo. And now that you saw that Paizo got you, with that nice kick in the teeth, now you're trying to backpedal and try to fix things. Good luck with that. The new OGL will contain provisions to address that risk, but we will do it without a license back and without suggesting we have rights to the content you create. Your ideas and imagination are what makes this game special, and that belongs to you. A couple of last thoughts. First, we won't be able to release the new OGL today. Gee, I was so worried about it. Because we need to make sure we get it right, but it is coming. Yeah, maybe with lots of changes also that will be beneficial to you, eh? Second, you're going to hear people say that they won, and we lost because making your voices heard forced us to change our plans. Those people will only have right. They won, and so did we. No, you didn't win jack shit, You, the only thing that won is a real kick in the nuts, and you deserved it. Our plan was always to solicit the input of our community before any update to the OGL. Then why didn't you address that when this leaked? Why didn't you do it from the beginning? Why were you hiding? Because your intention was to release this on January the 4th, with no previous announcement. Once you got caught red-handed, that's when you decided to delay it. You delayed it to this Friday. And now you are delaying it again because you were caught red-handed again. The drafts you've seen were attempting to do just that again. It was a draft, guys. You don't know what you're talking about. You see, you think that we all have ill intentions all the time. But it was only a draft. That's why we sent the NDAs. We want to always delight fans and create experiences together that everyone loves. We realize we did not do that this time, and we are sorry for that. Our goal was to get exactly the type of feedback on which provisions worked and which did not, which we ultimately got from you. Any change this major could only have been done well if we were willing to take that feedback, no matter how it was provided. So we are. Thank you for caring enough to let us know what works and what doesn't, what you need and what scares you. Without knowing that, we can't do our part to make the new OGL match our principles. Finally, we'd appreciate the chance to make this right, too little too late. You had your chance when this first leaked. You had your chance later on. You had like 2 weeks to do it right. Now that Pies is stealing your cake, now that you see that, I don't know, thousands of people have cancelled their D&D Beyond subscriptions, now it is when you react. We love D&D's devoted players and the creators who take them on so many incredibly adventures. We won't let you down. I think it's a little too late for that, Wizards. You already let people down, and that's why you are suffering the consequences. And you know what? Well deserved. You really deserve that. Do you believe them? Because I don't. I think that they are going to find a way, they are going to try to sneak a way in to let everyone know that they are the ultimate business, we own this thing, we own this house, and if you want to live in it, you have to abide by our rules, when they, in fact, are our guests, because without our money, they will crumble down. And they have started to see that because they really got scared when they saw all those many people canceling their subscriptions. You just have to take a look at Twitter to see how many people did. Now, yes, sure enough, it's not in the hundreds of thousands, it's not millions of people, but also consider that not many people play this game, and even less people use D&D Beyond resources. Many people are not subscribed to D&D Beyond, but how many people have helped and have joined Paizo and other companies? Just look at what happened to Paizo's webpage. It collapsed under the weight of all the traffic that was going their way because of all those people that wanted to support this. And with the discounts that they have to celebrate open gaming, I think that Paizo is doing the right thing, and they are once again eating Wizards' cake. And it's enjoyable to see. Does this mean that Wizards has fallen, that they have lost? No, of course not. But it sure is a huge and very heavy blow that they will find hard to recover. They will have to make amends in huge amounts for people to forgive them and to give them another chance. I am sure that they were waiting for this to blow over, and it just blew on their faces. It's only my Viking view. What is yours? Let me know your opinion down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.